I apologize. We had a technical issue there, but we're back. So I was telling you about Pops when he got out the hospital, about the condition that he was in. And just to tell you, I want to give you a little bit of history about himself. Pops, can you tell us about, like, your service to the community and all of that stuff?
Oh, I've worked many jobs. I've always worked all my life. From when I was a young child, I always had a job, and I always worked. And I was the very first person to graduate from Milwaukee Area Technical College as the first black dental assistant to ever graduate from that program. In fact, I was on the advisory committee and a few other committees that tried to make things better so people who wanted to transfer from one job to another can bring their degree or their diploma to another city and to use it.
Mm. And you were on the dean's list too, right?
Yes, I was always on the dean's list.
All right. And you served in the military.
Yes,
as well.
I served in the military. I did 2 years reserve and did 6 years active, which is 8 years altogether.
All right. And what branch of the military was that?
The United States Air Force, but I also got loaned out to the United States Marine Corps.
Okay. Is there a certain time span that you were involved with the military? Or?
From 77 through 1984.
Okay. You also told me that you had went in for work as a drone operator. Is that true?
No, I didn't work as a drone operator.
No?
No way. I would never do that.
Okay, no problem. We'll talk about that later.
No.
Well, yeah, so...
I don't play with the drones.
All right, cool. Well, no drones. That's good to know. And with the military service, they prescribed what kind of medications to you because of your service there with the PTSD?
Well, they provide medical services and mental health services at the VA hospital in Milwaukee.
Mm. So you've had experience with dealing with the VA hospital and...
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that, seeing as, with the current scandal, there's been some controversy regarding that?
Because there's so many people coming back and they have so many scandals, including sexual assault. Right now, the military is really going through an upheaval, and they're cleaning house. So that's really happening. And as soon as they do that, they're going to get all their houses in order, it will include the VA facilities.
So now, when you went, were they helpful at all? I mean, how was the staff there and their demeanor?
Yeah,
towards helping you?
At the VA in Milwaukee, it's very good.
How about the one out here in California?
No.
It's just like that, no? Why is that? Can you tell us why?
I think because there's just so many people here, and there's so many military personnel that are in the streets, that it's hard to find good, solid housing for them. And for some of them to even obtain housing is going to be like getting a new way of life.
Right.
Because they're used to living on the streets.
Right. And you tell me now it's hard to kind of get those benefits because they make it seem like you have to be...
Yeah. They make sure that you have to be almost abject poverty. You have to have nothing. You must be on the streets living for at least 6 months, eating hand to foot, in order for you to get any benefits.
Wow. And see, and that's the thing, is we turn to the government to think that with our veterans that they're giving them the best of care, when in actuality they're not. And with the exposure of the current VA scandal, I guess, that's brought that to light, that these atrocities have been going on. The ignorances against our veterans and their affairs have been completely ignored for way too long, and it's just now to where it's coming to head. And my father has had experience with dealing with them not only in Milwaukee, but in California as well. And you've been kind of traveling throughout the whole country, right?
Yes, I have, Governor Wildstar.
He's lived in Atlanta, Texas, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
Texas.
Yeah, so he's been all across the world, actually. He was stationed in the Philippines when I was born. So,
Yep.
you know, he's quite the traveler. And like I said, he's a great guy. And what's happened with him previously with the prescription drugs, I believe that's another thing that's been ignored. When you had the act first, what was the doctor's response? You said it was kind of like hell going through the whole process.
Well, they didn't really look at me. In fact, I still might have a bruise on my left lung. They didn't take an x-ray. I'm going to wait until I go home and take an x-ray and see what's going on in this region right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was never addressed while I was down here.
So what was the diagnosis? I mean, did they just from there prescribe the prescription drug?
They just said, you know, that the prescriptions that I was on, that they didn't have the reciprocal prescriptions,
Mm-hmm.
so they had to come up with a new one.
Okay.
And that's why they put me on this new stuff. And since then, like my son said, I've not taken any of that. I've been getting up every day, walking, swimming, riding bikes, trying to do what I can to make myself healthier.
Yeah, we've been nursing them back to health naturally. My wife and I,
Yes, they have.
we are fans of natural remedies and, you know, holistic treatments. It's just a more natural way to treat our bodies and any health concerns that we may have. So instead of taking the prescription drugs, believe it or not, we've been having them smoke marijuana. And if you wouldn't mind, Pops, would you mind telling them about your history with regards to drugs and alcohol? And
I don't smoke marijuana. I don't do drugs. This is the first time that I actually did any holistic medication with HTZ and have some benefit.
Yeah, THC.
THC,
Yeah.
and it did have some benefit.
Okay.
But as far as the long term, I don't know yet. But as far as the short term, I did get some sleep and do feel a little bit restful after I imbibed.
So he was able to be more comfortable just to live day to day without the prescription drugs to again get back to the place to where he can get more active, ride the bike, swim, you know, play with his chest, you know, things like that. So it's again, I see you having fun on camera. That's good. Hey, the world should love you just as much as I do, and I hope you will. And if you do love your father, your mother, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your son, just your family, you know, your loved ones, if you do care for them, you're going to provide for them the best treatment possible. And if you deliver them to the hands of someone that doesn't have that same amount of care and desire to help that loved one of yours as you do, and they see them as being more so a dollar sign, a way to make money, then they're not going to provide that intention for you to be as beneficial for you and everyone else. So any doctor that's going to just be dismissive about anything that you're going to say and give you a bag full of drugs and send you on your way, you definitely want to question. And with what's happened to him recently, I just feel like pretty much the stand needs to be made. And Pops, can you tell us also about your treatment while you were in psychiatric hospital? Because that's very important too, what's going on with our psychiatric hospital.
Well, Dr. Chung was an excellent doctor. So I really don't have anything to say about
She was okay. So about the staff and the place you were before that, because you said you
well, I was at Paradise Valley Hospital.
okay. And how was it there?
They just kept you under sedation and just kept you going every day for the week.
Wow.
So therefore, you wouldn't get better.
Yeah.
You just would maintain.
Yeah, because he was sedated that whole time. And again, after the second accident, I didn't know where he was. He was here first. He had the accident in LA, and then he came to me here and left to San Diego. And while he was in San Diego, he had the second accident, and I didn't hear from him again until the Sunday before Memorial Day. And that was when they actually, the Dr. Chong that he's speaking of, was able to get in touch with me for him. And ever since then, pretty much he's been in my wife and I's care, and we've been taking care of him through natural remedies, through the use of medicinal marijuana, which does have health benefits and values. The studies are out there. It's all coming too. So please do your own
Thank you
research.
very much, Governor.
Oh, thank you, Pops. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you, Pops, for just talking to us all and telling us about, you know, what you've been through. And just come back to us safely. Next time you come back to California,
I will.
And come back 110% better than you are now.
But I think it's time for you to talk to your constituents.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, you heard it here from my father.
All right. Vote November 3rd.
No, June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Yeah, you vote June 3rd, then you can vote for me in November. But yes, please vote June 3rd for me, Nicholas Wildstar, independent candidate running for governor of California. Please visit my website, governorwildstar.com, and keep in touch. And hopefully we will have the revolution. It isn't being televised, but if you watch us here, it will be. So experience freedom, California. Let's free California, and let's free the world. Thank you all for your time. Peace, love, and blessings. And don't forget to rock the vote.